YN, November 26, 2023, How China Supports Pakistan's Terrorist Network While the World Honors the Victims of September 11, 2001. During a Quadrilateral Security Dialogue (Quad) conference with the foreign ministers of Australia, Japan, and the US in March of this year, India's Minister of External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar, declared that terrorism should not be politicized. It was an unambiguous, forceful message to China. The communist country has obstructed multiple attempts by India and its allies to categorize terrorists headquartered in Pakistan under the UN Security Council's 1267 Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee. China has knowingly supported Pakistan's terror infrastructure by doing this. As the world honors the victims of the terrorist acts of November 26, 2001, on this day marking the 15th anniversary, it is crucial to understand how Beijing has obstructed UN action against Islamabad on multiple occasions, thereby diminishing global security. The mastermind of 2611 is Lashkar-e-Taiba. 10 members of the terror group Lashkar-e-Taiba, LET, which receives support from Pakistan, carried out 12 planned shooting and bombing operations in Mumbai over 4 days on November 26, 2008. The attacks started on Wednesday, November 26, 2023, and continued until Saturday, November 26, 2008, drawing strong international condemnation. More than 300 people were injured, and 175 people, including 9 of the attackers, died in all. Beijing's refusal to acknowledge the US, UK, and France, 3 of New Delhi's closest allies in the UN Security Council, have on multiple occasions proposed to designate terrorists from LET and Jaish-e-Mohammed, JEM, based in Pakistan and impose sanctions on them by adding their names to the UN's Al-Qaeda and ISIL, Daesh, Sanctions Committee, which was established in 1999 by Resolution 1267. Numerous of them were blocked by Beijing, suggesting that Beijing will consider geopolitics while deciding how to proceed at the UNSC. Owing to obstacles erected by China, Sajid Mir, the main organizer of the 10 terrorists who wreaked havoc on Mumbai in 2008, is still not listed as a global terrorist. How did China protect terrorists from Pakistan at the UN? The US and India proposed to the Sanctions Committee on September 6, 2022, to add Sajid Mir, also known as Wasi Bai, to the 1267 list. When the Xi Jinping regime objected to the proposal, Beijing first halted it on September 15, 2022, then extended the hold until June 20, 2023, violating the criteria of the agreement. In other instances, this trend held. On June 1, 2022, India and the US jointly made a petition to name Abdul Rahman Makki as the mastermind and financier of the June 11 attacks. China shelved the idea on June 16, 2022. With a $2 million bounty on his head, Makki was added to the list when China reluctantly withdrew the hold on January 16, 2023, after the US threatened to escalate the situation to the UN Security Council. Similar to this, China thwarted attempts by the US and India to label Shahid Mahmood, a member of the LET's propaganda arm, as a worldwide terrorist. Additionally, China took issue with US and Indian efforts to place Talha Saeed, Hafiz Saeed's son, on the Sanctions Committee in October and November last year. Masood Azhar's explicit endorsement from China. It is impossible to overlook China's unwavering backing of Masood Azhar, the founder and chief of the terrorist group Jaish-e-Mohammed, JEM, which is based in Pakistan. The US, UK, France, and India had to work hard for more than 3 years to get Azhar classified as an international terrorist due to China's concerns. February 2016 saw the movement of the initial proposal. When Masood Azhar Alvi was eventually included in the 1267 committee in May 2019, China ultimately gave up protecting the extreme Islamists. Notably, China continues to obstruct the US-Indian proposal to designate his brother Abdul Rauf Asghar Alvi, the chief operational commander of JEM, as a global terrorist at the UN. Not only an issue with India, it is essential to acknowledge that China's support of terrorism in South Asia poses a threat to more than just India's national security. Instead, it fuels the global terrorist threat. As per BBC News, Masood Azhar's activities extended beyond the borders of South Asia. He was dubbed as the man who brought jihad to Britain. Azhar traveled to the UK in August 1993 to give speeches, collect money, and conduct a recruiting drive. Several of Britain's most prominent Islamic establishments, such as the Darul Uloom Bury Seminary, Zakaria Mosque, Medina Masjid in Blackburn and Burnley, and Jamia Masjid, hosted him to preach on jihad. His message stated that a substantial proportion of the Quran had been devoted to killing for the sake of Allah and that a substantial volume of sayings of the Islamic prophet Muhammad was on the issue of jihad. The discriminatory practices of China. Regarding terrorism, China has pursued two radically different strategies both at home and abroad. In the name of tackling terrorism, it has restricted human rights and launched an unprecedented crackdown on religious freedom in the predominantly Muslim Xinjiang region. However, it has not even acknowledged the threats posed by terrorism in South Asia, presumably because of its close ties to Pakistan, which is widely considered to be the epicenter of terrorism.